Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Agile Boston podcast. I'm Joe DeAngelis, and here I'm happy to be with our founder of Agile Boston, Dan Mezek. And today we have two guests with us, Alexander Krause and Andrea Darabos, coming all the way from Europe. And they have graciously accepted our invitation to speak at our upcoming March virtual event that will happen on March 27th at noon. And Alexander and Andrea are going to be presenting an online workshop for engaging leadership. So I guess my first question to you, Alexander and Andrea, is if this presentation goes exactly as planned, what will it look like?
I guess it might look like a relief to the participants as they get some kind of ideas what they can bring to workplaces and how to approach leaders, how to educate leaders first to create patterns and structures that, let's say, not create engagement, but like destroy less engagement and motivation.
And adding to what Alex just said, we are very much aiming to connect with the change agent in every one of us. How can we use empirical data from invitations or inviting leadership style, feedback, people's responses or non-responses as a way to determine the right speed of change, the right approach to change, and so on. So use empiricism to change would be a great other takeaway.
So tell me, what are some of the problems that you see in the industry as the industry has changed over the years with leadership or with how we as change agents are engaging leadership?
You want to go first?
Lots of problems are opportunities. Maybe I can start with one. Recently, we have worked with a Japanese global organization, and we are also constantly learning with and from our clients. Change can be generating fear. So as I mentioned in the introduction, it's a very interesting topic if we can explore or find the right speed of change. So go with people, do what they are ready for, and therefore, again, the empirical approach to change is what we prefer, is to experiment forward, learn forward, fail forward, and adjust how we are changing an organization, how we are changing people, processes, adjust empirically is what we are learning. Japanese culture or Japanese organizations, let's say, prefer a smaller step-by-step approach is what we are also learning.
On the other hand, I would also say, like, we see that in an organization, there's always like more to do than there can be done. And I believe we're wasting so much potential by limiting what brains could do. Brains are really like wonderful and have so much potential, but we provide structures that limit this kind of potential. And we know about better patterns and we're not using them. So that's really something that we have to spread more knowledge about, especially amongst authorized people in organizations, to show first, to role model that, and to make like everyone else believe in that. And this, I believe, is some kind of the business of the future, to just make better use of brain power and create like more elegant solutions together.
Alex is exactly sharing why we teamed up and created a leadership program or an engaging approach. because of this potential left on the table, so to say. People
We love brains.
not
We love
unleashed.
brains. And that's it.
And we want to change that. Absolutely.
I think in the States, a lot of people who experience agile change find themselves sometimes at it for the second or third time in the same company or a new employer. And I think that there's a kind of pre-disengagement that takes place when we go blah, 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 agile, blah, blah. So could you speak a little bit to the engagement link, the link of engagement with success, and what we could do to get more engagement, and what we might learn during your session about that?
Actually, we will learn like how we can leave decision powers to everyone so that people can take decisions themselves. Taking decision is something that is essential for engagement. Yeah. And if we, for example, look like how agile teams are created, normally they are still created by a manager with a skill matrix, taking people, pushing them in one room, and then just writing the word team on the door. Yeah. No one of them like decided to work with these people. Yeah. No one decided maybe to work on that project. No one decided to, for example, to go for agile interactions while delivering the project. Yeah. So that's all very, very violent. And that already is a start where people like start turning off their brain and say like, okay, I'll just like follow the commands. And this is very wasteful. And we have seen that, and we have done that in companies. This is like very, very small steps. For example, like team self-selection processes that works in small companies, that works in very large companies. And we have like results that people love it, that they are committed to their teams. They are committed to their work mode. Even they like create that work mode for themselves and for their colleagues.
Yeah.
They're asked for feedback, and they develop all that themselves. And it's really good if we see that happen. And this is something I believe we need for the future, but we also need to hold the hands of some people to help them take the first steps. And this is why it's very important to just spread the word about these mechanisms that we already know.
Yes. You know, both of you have tremendous depth of experience. I think it's worthwhile for us to just call that out. I've experienced Andrea's facilitation, which was extremely smooth and adept, and actually a pleasure to be a participant in. And Alex, I think you and I met in Chicago when Mike Beadle ran a conference.
No, I think it was the Open Leadership Summit or something in Berlin.
In Berlin, okay.
One was in Boston, and the second one was in Berlin, I think.
That's right.
In Berlin, where we met, and that was where I thought like, oh, yeah, I need more of that. That works.
And how many years experience do you have, Alex?
Depending, like, or regarding what?
Organizational change in this, this work.
Okay. Organizational change may be 10 to 12, something like that.
12 years. And Andrea, how long have you been in this work?
I started as a software developer, so small change was my preference rather than big small releases and DevOps changes. But eventually, early on, started in telecom, in large projects. I was involved in change. And we really think about change and agility wider than what's happening inside the organization, but really involving the customer community and the business partner or supplier community in the whole engaging leadership approach or invitation-based leadership, specifically for this session. Because, in my experience of, 10 plus, 12 plus years, similar to Alex, working internationally, we even push change on customers. We assume they can take our rate of change as we are ramping up with agility. And I've seen, in various contexts, like banking context, our customers are not one group. It's age digital readiness, skill dependent, ability dependent, very diverse group. And if we want inclusive services, we need to even there co-create and find the right pace of change. So use empiricism to develop great products and services. About 10 years experience in the UK, working in retail bank and also trading or investment banking, regulated environments. One memorable story for me was, it's so easy to leave out groups of society or groups of our customers from engaging, and was working with people with different abilities to improve. Many product teams built some banking services in retail bank context, improve the experience, make it more accessible, smooth for anyone with hard hearing, with hard seeing, different abilities. And we engaged experts who are people with different abilities and work together on finding the right pace of change or approach to, in this case, product releases and product introduction.
Great, thank you. So more than 10 years experience each, both with experience coming from Europe, so that'll bring also some texture to what we're doing here in the States. Now, as we close here, if there is something you want to say to a potential participant who's thinking about maybe coming and participating in the event, what would be something you might want to tell them about your session, or a reason why they might want to come, or something that they are sure to receive if they participate? If you want to say, this is your opportunity to speak to potential participants and pull them in.
Oh, great. Yeah, we're going to open up with some data from organizations, some research, just proving that that there is a need for different patterns. And we are jumping then actually right into inviting leadership. I mean, whoever read Daniel's book, for example, you might not find so much new things, but you're going to hear a little bit about a European flavor on that, a few stories about how we applied it, so that can be inspirational. We're going to clarify, of course, differences between delegation and invitation and the effects of both. And of course, we want you to participate. So in the beginning, you can you can feel how much you want to be engaged, and then can act according to it. So, but if you want to be engaged, you also have the chance to craft an invitation with a small group in that session to get right into practice. So to have some learning that you can take away and have an impression that you actually can start practicing more next morning.
Very nice.
And
Andrea, do you want to add anything?
The only thing I would add to the very perfect invitation from Alex to participate is that whether you have lots of experience leading change with invitation leadership style, or whether you are learning it for the first time, relatively new to this topic, we would like you to have a safe place to share your experiences, try out crafting an invitation in a work context. You will have a safe space in small groups to work through it, or just observe. And at the end, we would like really to tap into your experience. They're really able to bridge the world with your help, or bridge over continents, and hear from you how you could use invitations and engaging leadership style in your context in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Very nice. And Joe, should we wrap it up? Is our work done here?
I think our work is done here. I want to thank Alexandra and Andrea for being here today, and also for accepting our invitation to be part of our Agile Boston community and presenting again on March 27th at noon. You can find out everything about current events, upcoming events, and past events at agileboston.org, including our 15 Give Thanks for Scrum events that we hold every November, right before the Thanksgiving holiday in the US. We wanted to invite you to join our LinkedIn group and also subscribe to this channel so you can always be up to date with all of our content moving forward. And I want to thank you, Andrea and Alexander, for being here. And Dan, thank you for being here and founding Agile Boston so many years ago. Until then, take care.